And
Cross our fingers. At least it's doing the loading thing. There we go. And I'm going to mute my phone.
Because that's always helpful.
Hopefully I remember to turn it back, the mute back off later on. It's doing the loading. There we go. And the audio sounds good.
Good.
Wake up, Jacob.
I'm waking up. I'm getting there. Kind of.
Slowly but surely?
Yep.
And I've got my watch party going.
Same here.
Awesome.
I know a lot of Elizabeths.
Do you now?
Yes. It's a very common name.
Oh, yes. Mostly I was just picking on you.
Oh, yeah.
Okie dokie. So when we get to the cast, one of our running gags is popping again this week. I'm just letting you know.
Okay.
Very few running gags we have.
Got it. Okay.
None of them are Frank Welker.
Okay.
You don't know which running gag I'm talking about.
No, I know. In my mental tiredness, I'm like, okay.
I'm just saying, there's a certain point where you're going to see me do this. Give me a second.
Yes, got it. Roger that. All right. Let everybody hop on.
So how are y'all doing out there, party people?
Yeah. Andy, bye. Welcome.
And if anybody has any memories on the movie The Iron Giant, please comment those on either the video or either of the two watch parties.
Yeah.
And let us know so we can talk about it on the show.
Yeah. And for myself personally, this is the first time ever watching the film.
There you go.
Hi, Brandy. Oh, man.
Okay, so this is a movie on your list. I assume you've got a replacement?
One.
I mean, this one can wait. I just want to make sure you've got something before we get to that part of the show. It's going to be a little awkward initially anyway.
Right.
Because we've got to do the rearrange.
No pressure, eh?
Well, I'm just humming.
Scooby-Dooby-Doo.
If I was going to be pressuring you, I would have done this.
Mm-hmm.
Do, 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 do.
Copyright strike.
Hey, I'm humming it. It's fine. Technically, the other one would have been worse off.
True. Very true.
Not that you knew what song I was doing. I was humming.
No, I didn't. Ooh, that sounds like good. We have done that. Okay, got it.
All right.
Actually, just saw it the other night. Let me bring up my notes. I'll actually bring this back up. In the night.
That was not what I was.
I know, but it was that same beat. Oh, yeah, I stink it.
Although now I do want to hear. What was that song? Stand By Me.
Yeah.
To the tune of Be Prepared.
Oh, you can make it happen.
Except it'd take me a bit to get it.
Yeah.
It doesn't exactly fit. But, anywho.
Yeah, anyways. What was I thinking?
Anyway. And we're reading an iTunes review tonight that we should have read back in December. Because that's when it was posted, and I did not see it until today. Because I didn't think to check iTunes until today.
I got you.
When I realized, I can easily check it without going through iTunes to get to it.
Okay. That'll work too. Yeah, I think we had someone post something about a movie they suggested.
Yeah, we had. No, that was in Facebook.
Yeah. Yours.
Okay. I'll let you take care of that part.
Yeah, if I can. Hold on. Leave for now.
How am I going to introduce you?
I was thinking that.
Oh,
go
I know
ahead.
how to introduce you. It's kind of fitting, too.
Okay.
Ba-da-da-da. Ba-da-da-ba-ba. We're almost ready to get going, folks.
Almost. Guess that was a comment, I guess. Post. I'll work on it.
I know Audie posted something.
Yeah, that's what I was referring to.
See if I can find it in here.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, here we go. If I can make a suggestion,
Yes.
get the Facebook Pages app. It allows you a little bit faster access to stuff in your Facebook pages.
Oh, okay. That does sound like a good idea.
Especially since there's a comments one that lets you look at all the comments in your inbox.
Ah, good call. Excuse me.
You're excused.
Mm.
To where, I don't know.
Either. Oh, what is it? I had something that was kind of funny, but then, and then my brain went, "Oh yeah, I'm tired." um.
Yes, I should be able just to switch straight to that and hit that button and then switch back. Awesome sauce. Oh, who do you do?
Yeah. Mm.
Think here in about 4 minutes?
Yeah. Roughly 4 minutes.
Alright.
So if anybody has any comments, thoughts,
Before we get started.
reflections of this now iconic film.
It was horribly underrated when it first released.
Yeah,
And it's become a cult classic.
Yeah. Yeah, it had the most unfortunate events of being released the same weekend as Sixth Sense.
I don't know if that would have affected it as much, because you could have had the kids go see this movie while the adults go see The Sixth Sense. In some cases.
That is true.
If you have an older kid to go with them.
Yeah, true.
To watch them, but...
Yep. Apparently you have 5 people watching. Cool.
Awesome. I wish it would show you who those people were so you could say hi.
Yeah, exactly. That'd be nice.
Why would it, yeah.
Who knows?
So the 5 people watching, which I recognize 2 of them are me and you.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, how's it going? Welcome to our craziness.
Yeah, exactly.
We'll be starting our review, our live recording of the episode here in about 2 minutes. And for some reason, your battery is running low. I see it. It's popped out of the thing. Oh,
You got it?
yeah, I got it.
Okay. We got power back.
Awesome. I can get back here. All right.
Checking the time.
2 minutes.
All right, excellent. Till Doomsday?
Depends.
Yeah.
On the trigger happiness of
Yeah.
Frasier's father.
That is true. I didn't think about that. Oh, it's too funny.
The entire time I was watching the movie, and we'll get into... I'll probably repeat this.
Right.
I'm going, I know who that voice is. Is that George C. Scott? No, it's not quite that gruff for George C. Scott, even though I could see him doing a job like this. And it's not Arlie Ermy either, because it doesn't have his cadence.
No.
Who is this? And I go, and finally it gets to the credits, and I see, John Mahoney's name, and I go, oh yeah! That's who that is.
Eddie's owner.
Yes. Weird how we both know this character. I know him as Frasier's father.
Yeah.
You know him as the owner of the dog. Admittedly, the dog was the smartest character on the show.
He's the best character in the show.
All right. Anyway, we are at 7:45, so let's get this train rolling. You got a intro for me?
Yes, I do.
Okay, let's do this thing. Starting in. Hello and welcome to another episode of The Cellcast. Joining me today is a man who just likes to build art out of scrap. Welcome, Jacob.
Why, thank you. And like to introduce our host, a man, to quote the movie, I am Groot. No, wait a minute, wrong movie.
Yeah, definitely the wrong movie.
Yeah, let me rephrase that.
I think you're thinking,
Superman. There you go. There we go. Anyways,
that was not a good impression.
No, it wasn't.
Vin Diesel saying that
no.
Name. But anyway,
I was going to go a different route, but good point
right.
Anyway.
How are you doing today, Jacob?
Man, it has been a very long day.
Has it?
I work in the customer service industry at a grocery store.
Mm-hmm. Which means you've had 10 weeks. No. More than 8, 12. Let's say 15 weeks of Black Friday style service.
Pretty much. Not
because of this quarantine. We are slowly coming out.
Yes. Praise the Lord for that.
Yes. Because you were essential.
Yeah, exactly. Which I'm very thankful and very blessed for that.
No, I was essential too, which I was also thankful for, but I was not in the situation you were in.
Right. So going in at 7, getting off at 5, and having no backup until 3, except for a cart pusher.
Mm-hmm.
Which that's a whole new thing we're doing where I work. But I'm very grateful for the hours. I'm very grateful.
Marking that.
I am very.
That didn't mark. Why did that not mark? I think I see it. Hang on.
Yeah, your keyboard went out.
Yep, the light's not on.
Yep.
Which means my mouse isn't on either.
Hold on. Technical difficulties.
Gotta follow the USB cord through all the extensions. So I find the one that's loose.
You gotta love technology, people.
I don't know which one it is.
Hi, Uncle Mike. We have lost somewhat power. Not really. We're not Titanic. We're not sinking yet. But
no, it's just I can't mark anything.
Yeah.
And nothing I'm doing is making it come back on. Okay.
Yeah, because when you leaned over, I saw your keyboard went out.
You could have told me that a couple minutes ago.
Yeah, I could have, but it was more like, let's see him squirm for a second.
On live video.
Yes. Why not?
This is tangled all the heck. And not in a
good way.
Good way.
So while Drew is trying to find the source to get his keyboard and mouse plug back in, just how's everybody's day going? Be like, I shared mine. What has your day been like? Comment down below.
Okay.
Drew is getting very frustrated.
Switch out of the way.
Just bypass it.
Yeah, I'm just going to go straight into the back of the computer. I don't have time to play games.
Mm.
And if I did, find the problem with the USB cable is not the game I want to play.
No.
There we go.
I'll get that in a sec. Yeah. I really should have told him.
Yes, you should have. Huzzah! All right.
Now we have a lit keyboard. It's like legit.
Well, I don't know about legit. Okay. Yes, the mark works. So
good.
What were you saying before that debacle?
Oh. Well, let's just start over with that.
Okay.
Okay.
Hello and welcome
This is working out so well.
We'll start back over with the how are you doing?
Okay.
All right. So how are you doing today, Jacob?
Man, I'm doing very well. Just got off a 10-hour work day, and now, mind you, be like, that's working from like 7:30 to 5 with an hour break, and with a little help here and there, but no really scheduled to do the other part of my job or assist me in my job. It's always like someone else with another department coming over and helping me. So that's a little bit frustrating sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, Beal, I'm very grateful for the job I have. Definitely when the pandemic hit.
Yeah.
It's been like, what, 15 weeks?
Something like that.
Something like 15 weeks. And
those 3 months.
Yeah. So
March, April, May. Yeah.
3 months. Like, there were days when we're like, okay, I need to take a breath. Okay, I can't take the breath at this moment. But there again, I'm very grateful for the hours. I'm very grateful for the paycheck. Just for a little help. Just a little help. Every once in a while would be great. But other than that, except, just being a little exhausted, trying to work on projects and trying to find the suitable time to get things done.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, I'm doing peachy. How about you?
Oh, I'm doing good. Like you, I've been essential for the past couple months.
Right.
And my boss decided to leave. So we're in the middle of that topsy-turvy era of trying to get transitioned.
Yeah.
And we're on the tail end of it, but, we're going to be running into issues probably for the next 2 years, trying to remember who does what.
Yeah.
And trying to get everything situated. But other than that, we're doing good. And I'm doing good. It's just been, that kind of a week.
Understood.
Nothing crazy, but nothing boring.
I gotcha. Yeah, we just recently we lost a store director.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he basically just got moved over to another store. We got another store director named Patrick, and he's actually a really cool guy. He's a little bit older than me, I think, and he's a very good guy. He's a very good guy. I think the first day I saw him leave, he was leaving with a huge Bible. I was like, okay, that's a good sign.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'd like to point out, apparently, my new boss is in my watch party, and he said, at least your new boss is awesome.
Hey, my old boss was really cool. My old boss.
No, he's saying my new boss is
okay.
awesome.
Well, never mind. Yes.
Your new boss.
Yes,
I'll put one in
yes,
here.
Yes, Drew's new boss is absolutely incredible. Best boss ever.
He's going to love that.
Yeah, exactly. I love your co-host, man.
No offense, a lot. Some of this might get cut out of the final recording, but we'll see. We'll see.
All right.
So, Jacob, what have you been watching?
Oh, besides this, let me count the ways of the dumb anime I tried to watch on Amazon Prime movie or film or whatever that app is called.
Amazon Prime Video.
There we go.
And I'm assuming you watched an original, or was it a older one? Okay,
older 90s, old 80s, 90s.
Okay, so it's going to be a little crunchy.
Yeah, just a little bit.
If in nowhere else, the English dub.
Yeah. Oh, what was it? Honestly, I'm drawing a blank because I tried watching one episode and I got bored to tears with it.
Mm-hmm.
I tried another episode with another show. I got bored to tears.
What are the names of these shows?
I'm drawing a blank.
Oh, goody. We can't even recommend people what not to watch because you can't remember.
No, I can't. No. AKA 10 hours of work.
I understand.
That
is why notes are your friend. I'm just kidding. I'm horrible at taking notes myself.
Yeah, the only problem is Jacob, just take some caffeine. You're like, oh frick, you're right up.
Except you're the other way around.
Exactly.
You need to be taking the Benadryl so you'll get energy.
Yeah, pretty much. I should have thought of that. It's like, give me Benadryl now, please. I'm gonna wake up.
Yes. Anyway,
no, kind of like a certain character getting coffee during our film.
Yes.
Mine is I can't talk that. Well, I can, but
in all honesty, I don't know if the actor We'll get to this.
Yeah,
when we get to the review. But I don't think that actor
there.
was talking that fast either. I think that was sped up
Probably.
in the editing booth, but it still works.
Who knows? It works. It was a great scene. But anyways, I guess I watched this film for the first time and loved it.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, I have not had a chance to watch anything else. How about you, Drew?
Well, as you know, about 2 weeks ago, I was on vacation. And while I was on that vacation, it was requested of me to try a Western that I know is my dad's one of my dad's favorite movies. He's reading the book again, but he's read the book. My mom likes it. They say it's one of the best Western television shows out there, and technically it's a miniseries.
Okay.
Lonesome Dove.
Oh, my dad and my brothers love that miniseries.
I've watched the first
Jim does.
episode / movie.
Yeah.
It is interesting.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna have to pick up a little.
Yeah, it's
and I'm sure it will, because a lot of this one was introducing you to all the characters, giving you the idea, appearing to kill off a character just as you got to know them and to like them.
Happens.
It happens. But that's what I watched the first episode. I'm gonna slowly go through it. I have not decided how to mark this in the 100 movie challenge that we're both in, because technically it's 4 movies, but yet I've been marking this on Letterboxd.
Yeah.
It only lists all 4. It lists all 4 of them as one thing, not separate. So I don't know how I'm going to count it.
Oh, okay. I might it as one.
I might consider it as one and just being a 2, 4, 6, 8-hour movie.
Yeah.
But it is what it is.
Yeah.
I wasn't going to mark it till I finished the whole thing, because I figure I might as well finish the whole thing.
Yeah.
Because it's not bad. It's just slow getting started.
It's very slow. The fact that my dad and my brother Jim love the film for the fact that if you have a sick day, it's great for watching, because you have 8 hours worth of material to watch.
I love that people think I can have the attention span that long in one day.
Yeah, me either.
I can't do that.
I can't do that either.
Now, I say that, and I know I've put in marathon days playing video games.
Right.
So maybe I should keep my mouth shut. But, other than that, I've watched... what else have I watched? I have been watching the Disney Gallery making of The Mandalorian.
Okay, how's that going?
That is pretty good, actually. If you're interested in not just movie making, but hearing essentially fans of Star Wars gush for about some odd episodes and talk about how their thought process of Star Wars led into how they made decisions in this and everything, and looking at just the behind-the-scenes stuff as to how they actually shot the show, it's very interesting.
Yeah.
Did you know that a lot of that is shot in a soundstage with a backdrop screen, projecting images behind them?
I didn't know that.
That's a lot of how the thing was filmed.
Really?
Yeah.
Old school then.
Old school, but not old, but with a new school flair.
I gotcha.
Because a lot of that is CG stuff for them to do. Now, of course, there is stuff where they had to go out to a location.
Right.
But a lot of stuff, like the stuff in the town or in the ship,
right,
his ship, or some of the other locations that are more space-based, that was all shot on essentially a backdrop screen.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's really interesting.
Or back projection, that's what it's called.
Okay.
Rear projection. So that's pretty much what I've watched.
Okay. I do want to make one clarification. I did watch one thing. On Netflix, there is a documentary or kind of a biography, Garth Brooks, The Road I'm On. Which I've always been a huge Garth Brooks fan since probably 1993, 94? No, you wouldn't think that.
Really?
Yeah.
You have bad taste in country music?
Hey. But anyways, be like, I watched it and be like, being the huge Dark Books fan I am, be like, it was a really good documentary. Originally, it was on I think it was on A&E, I believe, originally, and it was really good. Went a lot of places that you never thought like a documentary would go, but it went there. It was incredibly good. It's two episodes, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. Thoroughly enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm.
And the other thing I wanted to bring up, and this is more like a shout out to someone I know, and gave me the most amazing gift ever.
Mm-hmm.
One of them. So a couple of weeks ago, I get a text from an old friend. Julie Bradley. I've known her for years from church and what have you, and I had the opportunity of watching her children grow up, which is really cool. And so she messaged me like, "Hey, we're looking to donate and get rid of a few things. Would you want some of it?" Having no idea what she's talking about. It's okay. Send me pictures. And a couple of minutes later, send me pictures. It's all movies. All movies. It's television series. So I'm like, yes, in a heartbeat. So like a week later, I drove out to her place, and I get this enormous box. And I'm thinking, okay, that couldn't be all the movies she described. And so I get back to the house and be like, okay, I'm going to record this, put it on for everybody to watch it. And it
is on our Facebook page.
Yes,
if anyone's interested.
Yeah, if you're interested, go watch that video because that was fun. That was a fun unboxing because it's a ton of John Wayne movies, which a lot of them I saw, several of them I haven't seen, and Batman the animated series, Star Wars, the Clone Wars, seasons 1 through 5. The original Babylon, or no, it's not Babylon. Either way,
whatever show it is, whatever
show I can't think of it. Yeah, either way, I'll put it down somewhere. Because you can go back and watch the video.
Science fiction.
Yes, science fiction.
And it's a mainstay of say the late '90s, early 2000s.
It's more like late '80s.
Okay, I don't know that.
Yeah, Battlestar Galactica. That's what I was looking for.
So is the old Battlestar Galactica or the new Battlestar Galactica?
It's the old.
Okay, the good one.
Yeah, the old one.
I may have controversial opinions.
I've never seen it, so eventually I might get around to watching it, maybe
if you ever have time.
Yeah, if I ever have time. Which seems my time gets a little more limited every week.
I know the feeling.
But yeah, so if you want to go watch that reaction video on
Facebook page,
on our Facebook page, you're more than welcome to. It's a lot of fun, and love to give a huge shout out to MickeyMomTravel.com. They are a travel agency where you can go to Walt Disney World, Disneyland, Disney cruises. You book through them. They help you along the way. They help you with.
Don't be distracted by the Facebook post.
Sorry, that's
the messenger posts.
Yes, sorry, that's really hard for me sometimes.
I know,
but yeah, if you are interested in having I really want to go to Disney, maybe in a couple months when everything kind of slows down a little bit, go check out MickeyMomTravel.com and be like, I'm just, this is not sponsored. This is not no promotions or anything. I'm just wanting to, give them some love and, give them a huge shout out. Definitely for Miss Julie giving you such an amazing gift. And there again, thank you again.
Well, while we're giving shout outs,
yeah, go for it.
We have gotten a review on Apple Podcasts.
Woo woo.
And I am slow at getting it out there because this review was left on December 15th of 2019. I'm a little behind because I didn't think to check the thing. I'm going to do better about checking all of our stuff, our locations now. So if you want to hear your review of our podcast read on the show,
right?
leave us a 5-star review. We don't really want to review, say the lower ones, but you want to gush about us, we'll definitely read you on the show.
Mm-hmm.
So this review was left by Jay Hamrick, which I'm not mistaken. I think this is. If you remember last year, I was on a podcast called Franchise Fatigue.
Yeah,
and we reviewed the movie Spider-Man: Homecoming.
Yeah.
I believe this is him.
Oh,
that James. I think that's James. That's James. His title of his review was "Great Chemistry and a Great Concept." He writes, "Film bros too easily write off animation and end up missing out on some really fantastic filmmaking. The Cellcast has 2 hosts with great chemistry and an obvious love for the genre. It's been officially added as a regular podcast while I'm at work."
Rock on. Thanks, James.
So, yeah. So, what do we got in the news?
All right. So, news-wise, let me get that out. All right. So, kind of like a certain movie that we mentioned last week,
Mm-hmm.
another movie is getting a sequel, and it's already greenlit and in production.
Awesome. What is it? Are you referring to Spider-Man Enter the Spider-Verse?
That'd be correct, so.
I do believe they actually, or there were rumors of it being greenlit like back in March.
Yeah.
I think.
Well,
It's official now?
Yeah, it's official.
Good.
Sony Pictures Animation is returning to the incredible multiverse of heroes explored by Miles Morales' Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse 2. Apparently, the lead animator, Nick Kindo, I might be pronouncing that wrong, but I do apologize, announced that the kickoff production was, according to his tweet, first day on the job, which was posted on Monday.
All right.
Originally announced to be released on April 6, 2022, Columbia Pictures will now see the Spideys swing back into theaters October 7th, 2022.
In 2 years.
In 2 years.
Well, I can be patient.
Yeah.
Because I know it's going to be good if it's anything like the original.
Right.
All right.
All right.
What else we got?
All right. So I'm pretty sure by this point everybody knows about HBO Max.
Yes.
All right. So apparently the internet is in an uproar right now about Looney Tunes.
Yeah, and I think I know where you're going with this.
Yes. Well, let's see. According to the article I've read on animationmagazine.com or whatever it is.
Your standard location
my standard for news.
Movie for animated news.
Yeah, exactly. It's a good place to find if you are looking for anything animation related. It's a really good site to go to, so check it out.
Mm-hmm.
There again, not paid ad.
No, just our standard source.
Just your standard source. So Elmer Fudd won't be using a gun in HBO Max's The New Looney Tunes cartoon. The producers told the New York Times said the crafty hunter will stalk the wily rabbit using just sharp instruments and high explosives.
Hang on. Elmer Fudd running around with a giant knife is somehow less scary than him running around with a double-barrel shotgun.
Oh, it gets better. He runs around with a large sickle.
What is he, deaf?
Pretty much.
I mean, that would be actually a pretty good episode, probably. I have not watched a lot of the new Looney Tunes cartoons.
Right.
I need to. I think I've watched maybe I've watched like one of the shorts. But, yeah.
All right.
That could be good. Now, I have to point out
something,
because people may forget. Yes, we all know Elmer Fudd as the hunter.
Yes.
In fact, between Bugs Bunny and Elmer Fudd, we act because with that situation, a word changed its meaning.
Yes.
Because of this. For those of you who don't know, there's an episode where there is one short where Bugs Bunny is mocking Elmer Fudd at one point, calling him Nimrod. And at the time, it was in the writing, it was a reference to the the person of Nimrod recorded in Genesis, who was a great hunter.
Right.
So Bugs Bunny was mocking him, saying, "Oh, you're such a great hunter like Nimrod." Well, of course, most people did not know who Nimrod was.
Right.
So they just assumed Bugs Bunny was calling Elmer Fudd an idiot.
And that's why
that's what that word means now. But
good piece of trivia.
Yes. Elmer Fudd has been more though than just your standard hunter. I mean, in one of his first appearances with Bugs Bunny, he was a wildlife photographer.
Okay.
He's had a lot of different jobs.
Right.
Admittedly, heck, he was in an opera.
Yeah, that's true.
Go back and listen to our first Looney Virus episode for that.
Mm-hmm.
Elmer Fudd can be a lot of things. Yes, the loss of his shotgun might reek of over PC-ness, and the idea that the cartoons are supposed to be for kids and they don't want guns in kids' programming. That's been a normal thing for the past 30, 40 years.
Right.
And that's really not necessarily a bad thing.
No.
Even though I think it's being overly protective anyway.
Right.
That's probably going to get a lot of flack, but I'll take it because.
Yes.
Right.
So to quote,
I'm just saying it's not the end of the world that he does not have his shotgun.
It's not. I saw someone who had posted about this, talking about just how people, the gun lobbies and freedom of press and what have you. It's like, no, it's a kids' cartoon. People be like you said, be like this stuff. This almost a war of trying to not make things PC, but rather trying to make it more kid friendly.
Yeah. Well, except I watched Looney Tunes when I was 4 years old, and I'm not crazy. And I know how to actually operate a gun without killing somebody.
Right, I agree with you. I'm the exact same way.
I'm just saying, it's just me being me. And this is, let's get off this subject.
Okay.
This is just going to cause trouble moving forward. So let's just move on. What's the next bit of news?
All right. So that is actually the last bit of news.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So then I guess we are going to be moving into our spoiler-free section of our review for the movie The Iron Giant.
Yes.
You said this was your first viewing, correct?
Yes.
Well, it was not mine, although there were large portions of this movie I had forgotten about.
Mm-hmm.
I probably first saw it on Cartoon Network about 20 years ago when they would do the movie.
Yeah.
The cartoon movie or whatever they called it.
Yeah.
I know this one got played a lot on around Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
For some reason, that was when they chose to always air this one.
Yeah.
Even though there's no Thanksgiving theme to this movie at all.
Yeah.
Other than it is around that time of year, I suppose. So that's when I first watched it with, commercial breaks interrupting it every 10 minutes. And I enjoyed the movie back then. And so, but I had never gone out and I had not enjoyed it enough to go out and purchase a copy or to go back and watch it again. Because like I said, the last time I watched this movie was about 20 years ago. I knew most of the plot, but there were large portions of the actual action I had forgotten.
Okay.
I remember liking it then, and I definitely like the movie now. In fact, I may have had a hard time coming up with dislikes.
Yeah.
So, that's my spoiler-free review of that movie. What's yours?
All right. So, when this movie came out in 1999, I just didn't... Because I think I saw it... I see, obviously, you saw trailers everywhere of this film.
I didn't. I didn't know about the film until I saw it being advertised as airing this Friday on Cartoon Network.
Really?
Yeah. I did not know a thing about this movie. Outside of seeing it that one time, the next time I even heard anything about it was when I was watching the special features for The Incredibles, and Brad Bird was talking about what he'd done before on The Iron Giant, and going, I know the name of that movie. Oh yeah, I watched that a couple years ago. That was okay.
Mm-hmm. Because obviously I remember seeing trailers for it, and it's like, oh, okay, I'll eventually get around to watching it.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and you did.
2020.
Yeah, 20 years later.
21
years later.
21 years later, I finally get around to actually watching it, and oh my gosh, this thing blew. Be like, if you could physically blow socks off, they would have been blown off.
Mm-hmm.
Just how incredibly well done this movie was. And it's sad that the movie really didn't get a whole lot of traction in theaters.
Yeah.
Which we'll get into later.
Oh, yes, we will.
But I love this movie to death. It's so good. I mean, like, I was emotionally pulled into the movie. Be like, I was invested into it.
Mm-hmm.
Like the emotional swells were getting to me. I was like, okay, why am I about to like burst into tears for a robot?
Well, same reason we almost did for a tree.
That is true.
Voiced by the same character.
Voice actor.
Yeah. Why did I say character?
I am Groot.
More like, I am Superman. The
Either
crossover
way.
We never knew we wanted.
Yeah, exactly.
Except we do. We've always known we wanted DC Marvel crossover. But anyway.
Exactly. Or in this case, Warner Brothers. Either way.
DC Marvel.
DC Marvel. Whichever. Anyways, so I enjoyed this movie. I can't give this movie enough praise. Really, it's such a technical marvel of a film that there again, has become a cult classic and just loved by many fans. And actually, where I work, I asked people, it's like, so did anybody watch The Iron Giant? They kind of look at me funny. It's like, what's The Iron Giant?
Oh, I hate that response.
It's like,
at the very least, you should know of it.
Yeah.
Because at least it's that good a movie that it really should be bigger than it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
Very underrated.
It is. I was halfway expecting to run into somebody who knew this film.
Yeah.
And nobody knew about it.
That's a shame.
Yeah. So hopefully
we will be raising awareness for this film.
Exactly. So yeah, that is my spoiler-free review of Iron Giant.
All right. So we're going to move into our spoiler-filled section. So we will catch you on the other side. Where's the mouse? That's right. I knocked it off on the floor earlier. And cut.
Cut.
All right. So for those of you joining us live for the first time, we saved the episode in two different parts.
Yes.
So there's a little bit of a jump in between while we switch over because trust me, you don't want to know what it feels like to lose audio.
No.
And any of my fellow podcasters listening or watching this right now knows exactly what I mean.
Yeah, go back to our very a few of our.
We lost 5 episodes total.
Yeah, literally, it was bad. I'm talking seriously bad.
Yes,
bad to the moon, like sheep bad.
There was one where it literally sounded like we were
Mr. Robot.
Pretty much, well, a robot sheep, an electric sheep that we have to wonder if androids dream of.
Yeah, exactly. So Blade Runner.
So it sounded like this the whole time, and it didn't really work too well.
And it wandered off and was never found again.
Oh, it's still a lot around. I can go and find it. It's on it's on that other computer over there that the monitor's going out on. But
okay.
And I really do need to back up a lot of this stuff because I haven't done it yet.
Yes, that would be nice.
I just got to figure out a place to back it up.
Right. So that would be funny to kind of release like a little part of it. It's like,
well,
it's like,
if you remember, it was our episode on Tangled that this happened on. And we
right.
actually start off with that audio before
that's
I
right.
cut away. We cut away back.
So if you want to hear a sample of that, go back and listen to the episode of Tangled.
And I still have not changed the background music out on that yet. I need to, so we can get it up on Spotify.
Yeah.
Although Spotify may not care. I don't know.
Yeah, who knows?
All right, so part 2 is now going.
Yep. So there again, if you have any like thoughts, ideas,
Memories. All alone in the moonlight. I had not watched the movie Cats, except the home video version of the play many years ago.
Meow, 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 meow.
Just like to point out, the coronavirus hit after that movie came out.
It did.
That was where we fell. That was the stone the camel stumbled upon on the path.
Oh. Wow. Wow. Oh, I'm going to Stitches tonight. It's going to be glorious.
No, Stitches up here.
Yeah.
Anyway. I should bring my notes up before we get back going here, because I've got a lot of talking coming up. Alright. We're going to give y'all till about 8:25 to get any memories into us. Yep. Even if, like, for instance, right now, I don't have the watch party up on my screen. So when we come, if they're there when I come back to it, we'll bring those up at the end of the review.
All right.
Before we go into the mega rolling of tonight's episode, because not only do we need to roll for the movie, we need to roll for changing up the order of where stuff is again.
We do.
To give everyone the most optimal chance of getting, or both of us the optimal chance of getting getting what movies we want on here.
Mm-hmm. Sorry, I got distracted. Like usual.
And what's new about that?
Oh gosh. Ow. Oh, what was that? What was that? You showed me something Sunday night over at our friend's house.
Yeah, it was a picture. Oh, it was a comic. It was a cartoon.
Yeah,
it was on ICanHasCheeseburger.com. We're not advertising for them. But,
no, we're not.
I don't even know if I can find it.
Don't worry about it.
Oh no, it was that thing of the raccoon and the possum on the carpet dressed as Aladdin and Princess Jasmine going, I can show you the trash.
Oh my gosh, I lost it. It was so gloriously silly and goofy at the same time. I just absolutely lost it. It was so good. All right.
We got a couple minutes before we jump back into this thing.
Right.
So, normally I have a 20-sided die that looks similar to this.
Yeah.
I'm not 100% sure where it is. So I had to go with the boring red and white.
Nothing wrong.
The boring red and white.
Yeah.
As opposed to the blue and silver that we normally use.
Yeah.
For the D6. I think it might be in that little plastic container that has the old microphones in it.
Okay, yeah.
That is at Chase's.
Yeah.
So hopefully that's where it is.
Hopefully.
Or it's in one of my pants pockets somewhere.
Probably. Probably got washed twice. Time to.
Yeah, probably. Or it could be somewhere around this apartment that is slowly being straightened up. Slowly but surely.
Yeah, slowly but surely. It's a bachelor pad. What do you expect?
Well, I did get the giant box the ukulele came in out of here the other night.
Good.
So that opened up a lot of space.
Good.
Yes, I am learning how to play the ukulele.
Yeah.
I'm getting there. But not there enough for me to post a video of me playing it on Facebook yet.
Yeah.
We're not where I feel comfortable with that yet. And by comfortable, I mean it doesn't feel like I'm going to die of embarrassment if I do that. Because I recognize I will never be happy with it.
Okay.
Because I'm not happy with any of my artwork.
I don't think any artist is, really.
No. I'm not happy with almost every single episode of this podcast we put out. Just because there's a lot of creative work that goes into it.
That is true.
Okay, so we are at 8:25, so we need to go ahead and get back into this.
We
so,
shall.
Get back to my notes. Okay, you ready?
Let's do it.
All right. The following is a spoiler-filled review for the movie The Iron Giant. Listener discretion is advised. Fun.
Yeah.
Just as I got done doing that part, my computer decided to freeze on the recording. So give me just a second.
Yeah.
I may just start over with the spoiler warning.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, look at all those.
Wow, that flagged.
So I'm just going to select all of that and hit delete and just start this again. Control M or Control M. I think I actually have to be recording before it does that. There we go.
All right, good deal.
Starting once again, take 2. The following is a spoiler-filled review for the movie The Iron Giant. Listener discretion is advised. The Iron Giant was written and directed by Brad Bird, who would go on to write and direct The Incredibles, The Incredibles 2, Ratatouille, Tomorrowland, and he would also go on to direct Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol. It was also written by Tim McCanlies, who also wrote the movie Secondhand Lions. And it is based on the book The Iron Man by Ted Hughes.
Yes.
I think I know why it's not called that in this movie.
Wonder why.
Because even though Iron Man wasn't owned by Disney yet, still they couldn't technically use that name.
No, it was,
Probably.
Yeah.
Especially since they're also got comic books in there.
Yeah.
All right. The music was by Michael Kamen. He also wrote the music to Band of Brothers, X-Men, and Mr. Holland's Opus. The cast includes Jennifer Aniston as Annie Hughes. She, of course, played Rachel Green on Friends, and played the character of Sarah Gardner in the movie Storks.
I remember something about that.
Mm-hmm.
Actually,
She was the human character.
That's
not
right.
the baby.
I gotcha.
Obviously.
Obviously.
Harry Connick Jr. plays Dean McCoppin. And Harry Connick Jr. apparently is a musician.
Yeah.
I was unaware of this.
Yeah. He's more like blues and
It's
jazz
just
and all
stuff
that.
I have never, not the genres I traditionally listen to.
Right.
So that's why I didn't know this. But he also played a Captain Jimmy Wilder in Independence Day.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
yeah.
I do remember that. I can't breathe. From the movie reference. Let's do
Yes,
that.
yes.
From the movie reference.
Independence Day, the first one.
Yeah, the first one.
Wait, from my understanding, the good one.
Yeah,
But I haven't watched the second one, so
Yeah,
I can't
me
form
either.
an opinion. Vin Diesel plays the Iron Giant himself. And he did play Groot in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. He also plays Dominic Toretto in the Fast and the Furious series.
Yep.
And he also plays the character of Riddick in the Chronicles of Riddick series.
Yep.
James Gammon played Foreman Marv Loach and Floyd Turbo. He was Dawson in Silverado. And Esco Swanger in Cold Mountain.
Yeah.
Cloris Leachman played Mrs. Tinsage. She was Gran in The Croods, and in Young Frankenstein, she played Frau Blucher. It'll play. Hang on. I'm going to get this. I had this work. I will edit this in later. just for people listening at home and to provide probably a great that's what I'm looking at for blooper. She plays Frau Blucher. I'll edit the actual thing back in later.
Oh my gosh.
Which means I need to put a mark. That did not work at all. I'll have to figure out why later on. And the great part is you're just laughing at my mess up. You don't even get the joke.
No, I don't.
And I've got to wait till you calm back down because I'm seeing you're up to 3 veins in the forehead right now.
Yep. You gotta let me an asthmatic.
My apologies.
Right, your apology. I don't apologize. Oh, that was good. Oh, we're gonna do something with that. That was good.
All right.
Continue.
Christopher McDonald hang on. Christopher McDonald played Kent Mansley. He played the character of Daryl in Thelma and Louise and Shooter McGavin in Happy Gilmore. John Mahoney plays General Rogard, and in the television series Frasier, he played Martin Crane. You know, Frasier's dad.
Yeah.
Or as you said earlier, Eddie's owner.
Yeah, exactly.
Just to show you the difference in how you two remembered this one character.
Yes.
Although, like I said earlier, admittedly, Eddie was the best character on the show.
Very true.
All right. Eli Marinthal played Hogarth Hughes.
Mm-hmm. That is such an interesting name.
Yes. In the television show Static Shock, he played Tim Drake / Robin.
Really?
And while it does not say which Robin he plays in Mystery of the Batwoman, that animated thing that came out,
that'd be Tim Drake.
I think that was also Tim Drake.
Okay.
So he reprised his role from the show.
Oh, okay. Well, excellent.
All right. And M. Emmett Walsh plays Earl Stutz. He was Byron in Blade Runner, Mr. Prufrock in Knives Out, and in the movie Christmas with the Cranks, he played Walt Scheel. And basically, nowadays, he plays every old man.
Gotcha.
And he's in a lot of stuff. He's just one of those people who always gets hired to be the old fuddy-duddy in the background.
Okay.
So that brings us to the end of the cast. What do we got in info?
Okay. All right. So on IMDb, it has an 8.8 out of 5.
Starting over.
All right. So on IMDb, it has a rating out of 8 out of 10.
Mm-hmm.
Rotten Tomatoes, it has a 96%, and its audience score is a 90%.
Okay.
So apparently the critics liked it more than the audience.
Right.
All right. Show, it was produced by, and I'm going to get this right, Warner Brothers Feature Animation. Distribution by Warner Brothers Studios. It was released, its original release was on July 31st, 1999 at the Mann's Chinese Theater. And for everywhere else, in the U.S. was August 6th, 1999. Okay, so budget-wise, and box office results, it had an estimated budget of $70 million.
Mm-hmm.
Its opening weekend U.S. release, it had $5.7 million. Yeah, a little low. That was August 8th.
I think this is our first box office bomb besides maybe Final Fantasy The Spirits Within.
I think so.
The second bomb.
Close to it.
Except this one deserved it less than Spirits Within did.
Yeah, I agree on that.
Even though I love Spirits Within.
Yeah. And so it had a U.S. gross of $23.1 million.
All right.
It had the exact same. Well, it earned a little bit more. Earned about another $50,000 worldwide.
Okay.
Just a little bit. Just a tiny bit. So yeah, it bombed in theaters, but now it is
Which is so stinking sad.
Agreed.
But then you know what other movie bombed in theaters and now is considered a classic?
Well then.
It's a Wonderful Life.
That is true.
So it's in good company.
That is very true. So that is all we have for info and box office.
All right. So jumping into the summary. I just realized why the sound effect didn't work.
How's that?
Volume's turned down. I had to get that off my chest.
Gosh, yes!
I have the volume turned down on the phone from when we tested the video footage a minute ago because I leave it up for the watch party, but you don't need to hear it playing over the microphone, so I've got the volume turned down. It's amazing how in the video I can see the blood rush back into your head.
Isn't it glorious? Oh, we gotta keep some of that in.
Anyway. We may have to release a bonus outtake.
Yes. Oh my god.
Which we've not done in about a year.
Roughly.
Because that would have been when Meanwhile at Castle Grayskull came out last time. Alright, anyway. Alright, so getting into the summary of this film. During the Cold War, shortly after the Soviet Union launched Sputnik 1 in October 1957, an object from space crashes in the ocean just off the coast of Maine, where all of Stephen King, that's his name.
All Stephen King?
Where all of Stephen King's nightmares live. In fact, I'm not kidding. When I saw that it was taking place in Maine, I had to pause the movie and look up what this was based on because I was curious if it was based on a Stephen King.
Oh my gosh!
And we got to stop for the train anyway.
It's the train.
Oh man!
Oh my word! Oh, I haven't laughed this much in a while.
You're welcome.
Yes, I'm very thankful.
I'm glad I can be of amusement to you.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be a very interesting episode to release. Definitely bonus content.
Probably a week from tomorrow will be when that releases.
Got it.
I will make sure that happens because that is funny.
Yeah. Oh man. Oh man. I'm gonna sleep like a puppy dog tonight, I hope.
And then have to get up early and do it all over again tomorrow.
Yep, exactly. And probably be a grumpy dog by the end of it.
It happens.
Probably not. It does. It's work.
Hopefully you won't have a headache this weekend.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because we need to jump back into Remake.
That is true. That is so true. Yeah.
In fact, I had an idea.
What is that?
When we finish a game,
okay,
we need to release an episode where we talk about it in the podcast.
Interesting.
Because we're going to be doing a couple games. Remake's not our last game.
Right, obviously.
We've talked about doing some other stuff. I think us talking about what we see in the game, because I can definitely talk about gameplay, you can talk about story, you know. I can talk about the story too. It's not like I didn't watch the story.
Right, exactly.
It's not like I don't know the story and love many of the changes. And was geeking out in parts where you're going, what on earth are you doing? It's like, oh, I know what they're doing. Well, of course I know what they're doing. I played the original game. I know how the story is going to turn out. Although I hear the ending is different. Somewhat.
Gotcha.
From how the event plays out in the original PS1 game. But we'll see when we get there.
Gotcha.
So if any of y'all have a PS4 game, animation related, that is not crap, I will throw that proviso on there. Please put it in the Facebook page or email it to us at cellcastpodcast@gmail.com. I don't mention that enough.
And also to mention, it needs to be animated movie related.
Well, yeah, that's what I said.
That's what you said. That's right.
Yes. And for those of you who are already writing out Kingdom Hearts, that is on the list. And the reason it's not the next game is because I want to do something that's not an action RPG that was directed by Tetsuya Nomura.
Got it.
That's why we're not jumping into that next.
I got you.
Ideally, though, I would like it to be a shorter game. If such a thing is out there that's not going to be NES hard. Which is why I'm skeptical about the Aladdin... What's the other one? Lion King? Aladdin Lion King 2-pack.
Yeah.
Or any of the...
Of Bought It Ever?
No. Thinking.
He's trying.
Disney's Saturday morning collection.
Oh, DuckTales.
DuckTales is in there. Darkwing Duck is in there. I think there's a Chip and Dale and a Tailspin in there.
Yeah.
I know that's on there, and I can get it on there, but I have a feeling those are going to be hard. Now, they do have a rewind feature, so we can scoot back quickly enough, but at the same time, it's going to be a lot of me dying. A lot of me dying and getting frustrated, which may be entertaining.
Yeah, for some. Not for Drew.
For me, it should be my blood pressure rising. Anyway.
And hopefully not throwing a remote controller at a TV.
Especially not that TV.
No.
Alright. I think we're ready to jump back into this.
He might throw the remote at me.
If you do that laugh again, where 3 of your veins pop out of your head, while I have died 30 times, yes, the PS4 controller may end up lodged in your head.
Yeah. Bink!
I'll just get the other controller and move on.
And where am I again? Who am I? What am I doing in this strange house?
Is it Christmas? Anyway.
Yeah, why is there a cool Christmas? Awesome, cool.
Alright. Getting back into this. So, jumping back a little bit, because I kind of jumped. Okay. So, yeah, that remark of Stephen King was in the middle of a sentence. So I'll jump back to get context here. An object from space crashes in the ocean just off the coast of Maine and then enters the forest near the town of Rockwell. The following night, 11-year-old Hogarth Hughes investigates and finds the object, a 100-foot tall, not actually 100 feet tall, 100-foot tall alien robot attempting to eat the transmission lines of an electrical substation. Hogarth eventually befriends the giant, finding him docile and curious. When he eats railroad tracks in the path of an oncoming train, the train collides with him and derails. Hogarth leads the giant away from the area, discovering that he can self-repair. While there, Hogarth shows the giant comic book chronicles of the adventures of Superman. The incidents lead a xenophobic U.S. government agent named Kent Mansley to Rockwell. He suspects Hogarth's involvement after talking with him and his widowed mother Annie. Hogarth's father was a U.S. Air Force pilot who died during the Korean War. Where did it say that in the movie?
Yeah,
This is what this says that I got off Wikipedia. I don't remember where it said he died.
it's Wikipedia.
Take that last sentence with a grain of salt. Okay,
This was salt.
and rents a room in their house to keep an eye on him. Hogarth evades Mansley and leads the giant to a junkyard owned by beatnik artist Dean McCoppin, who reluctantly agrees to keep him. Hogarth enjoys his time with the giant, but is compelled to explain death after witnessing hunters killing a deer. That night, Hogarth is interrogated by Mansley when he discovers evidence of the giant after finding a photo of him next to Hogarth and bringing a U.S. Army contingent led by General Shannon Rogard to the scrapyard to prove the giant's existence. But Dean, having been warned by Hogarth earlier, tricks them by pretending that the giant is one of his art pieces. Upset by the apparent false alarm, Rogard prepares to leave with his forces after berating Mansley for his antics. Hogarth then continues to have fun with the giant by playing with a toy gun, but inadvertently activates the giant's defensive system, and Dean orders it away for Hogarth's safety, with Hogarth giving chase. Dean realizes that the giant was only acting in self-defense and catches up to Hogarth as they follow the giant. The giant saves two boys falling from a roof when he arrives, winning over the townspeople. Mansley jabbers wildly at Rogard to return to Rockwell, where he spots the giant in the town while leaving Rockwell. The army attacks the giant after he has picked up Hogarth, forcing the two to flee together. They initially evade the military by using the giant's flight system, but the giant is then shot down and crashes to the ground. Hogarth is knocked unconscious, but the giant, thinking Hogarth is dead and the military are responsible, transforms into a war machine in a fit of grief and retaliates, making its way back to Rockwell. Mansley then convinces Rogard to prepare a nuclear missile launched from the USS Nautilus, as conventional weapons prove to be ineffective. Hogarth then awakens and returns in time to calm the giant while Dean clarifies the situation to Rogard. The general is ready to stand down when Mansley impulsively orders the missile launch, causing the missile to head towards Rockwell, where it will kill everyone upon impact.
Nice job.
Mansley attempts to escape, but the giant stops him, and Rogard has him arrested for his actions. In order to save the town, the giant bids farewell to Hogarth and flies off to intercept the missile. As he soars directly into the path of the missile, the giant remembers Hogarth's words. "You are who you choose to be." Smiling contentedly, he says, "Superman," as he collides with the weapon. The missile explodes in the atmosphere, saving Rockwell, its population, and the military forces nearby, but seemingly at the cost of the giant himself, leaving Hogarth devastated. Months later, a memorial of the giant stands in Rockwell. Dean and Annie begin a relationship. Hogarth is given a package from Rogard, containing a screw from the giant, which is the only remnant found. That night, Hogarth finds the screw trying to move on its own, and remembering the giant's ability to self-repair, happily allows the screw to leave. The screw joins many other parts as they converge on the giant's head on the Langjökull Glacier in Iceland. I probably screwed that name up. And the giant smiles as he begins reassembling himself.
That was great.
Yes. So, what is your first like, Jacob?
What is my first like? Let me get to my likes. All right. One, it's not a like, it's a love.
Mm-hmm.
I love this film. Love it. Like I said in our non-spoiler review, I love the snot out of this film. Having the joys of watching it last night for our review.
Mm-hmm.
There's so much you could say about this film. You could probably go for hours. How amazing, wonderful, technically brilliant this movie is.
Mm-hmm.
And my first one would be I love this film.
Mm-hmm.
Love it, and I will definitely be buying the signature collection, which apparently they put in 2 deleted scenes,
mm-hmm.
which I couldn't tell they were because I didn't know what they were because I haven't seen the film before. But wow, just there again, wow, the movie is so incredibly well done, and like reading the box office reviews and it's like, wow. But
mm-hmm.
it's still an amazing film, and just if you've never seen it, if you've never heard of it, go rent it, go buy it, watch it. Such a good movie.
Okay.
So what is your number one?
My number one is the amazing animation.
Oh, absolutely.
In this movie.
Absolutely.
So, those of you who remember the previous episode on Aladdin where I complained about how the CG animation did not age very well in the 30 years it had been since that movie came out.
Mm-hmm.
Well, in 10 years, while not using the cap system, Warner Brothers ended up putting out a movie with 2D CG on screen at the same time that aged a lot better. Now, do not get me wrong. There are parts where you're looking at and you go, yeah, that's 3D.
Mm-hmm.
Let's face it, the Giant is a complete 3D model.
Yes.
But there's so much of that 3D intertwined throughout the entire movie that even the parts where it's painfully obvious that you're looking at a 3D object on a 2D space, it still fits.
Yeah.
It still fits beautifully to the point where it feels like it's a part of the art style.
Mm-hmm.
The biggest one that I always remember is when they're in the junkyard and Hogarth is playing space superhero type game with the Giant,
little kids,
and keeps calling the Giant Metallo or something like that.
Yeah.
And the Giant says not Metallo, and he picks up this giant, conveniently placed S, puts it on his chest and goes, "No, Superman." It's like that entire scene. Is like, hey, it's the thesis statement of this movie.
Sure.
But it's also got some of the most beautiful animation that's both 2D and 3D. Yes,
Agreed.
You can tell which of the objects on the pile the Giant is about to pick up because it's the only one that's a 3D model.
Yes.
But, and it has kind of the same cheat technique that they use on the Giant to make him look animated with the rest of everything. But anyway, you can tell, but at the same time, it's like, I don't care.
Yeah.
It fits. It works. It feels like it's a part of the motif. And they leaned into what they knew the biggest problem most people would have with the movie, and they made it work.
Yeah.
And I love that. The movie is beautiful. The scenes with the Giant when he first takes off is beautiful. And
absolutely.
It reminds me of those shots of the first, which technically would have been after this, the first rockets that they sent off into space for the space race. Those shots of seeing this giant object launching to the heavens while all this normal man-made stuff that you recognize is standing around you, and you go, and you just feel the gravity and the weight of this character as he's launching, as far as we know, for the first time.
Yeah.
And then plus his defensive systems.
Oh, good night, yes.
You go from, for lack of a better term, the cute and cuddly Iron Giant to evil space thing to scare you with fear in like 5 seconds flat, and then back, and it's like, holy crap, that looks so good. And especially the weapon effects when he does start firing and causes things to just disintegrate.
Yeah.
It's like, admittedly, it does have that 50s retro sci-fi aesthetic, which I absolutely love.
Yeah. I absolutely love it.
And I think that's that retro aesthetic that maybe people didn't buy into at the time.
Probably.
I don't care. I loved it because it's beautiful, and and despite the fact I was not born anywhere around this time, it gives me nostalgia for that more Buck Rogers, Flash Gordon style sci-fi shit.
Oh yeah.
And that's kind of what this is, but it's not as cheesy as those shows are, even though it's also kind of cheesy like those shows are.
In a way.
But it's in a way it works. So, and the last one I'm going to geek out about here. When the giant does the cannonball into the pond, and all of that water
that was so
is
good.
going everywhere. It's like,
so good.
that is the best 2D water effect when underwater is not the status quo.
Yeah.
Because technically Little Mermaid gains best water, but it's all throughout the movie because they treat it like air.
Yeah.
And because of the exception of the first couple moments of Little Mermaid, where you can kind of see a water effect.
Yeah.
That's not there the rest of the movie because it's kind of got an air quality to it. This, it's a short segment. It's maybe, 3 minutes where you see this effect?
Roughly.
Especially when Harry Connick Jr.'s character is just floating in what
not
has to be the
whatsoever.
only tidal wave that Maine has ever had to deal with.
Thunk. I love that.
And I'm looking going, this is beautiful. I can't believe people didn't watch this.
Yeah.
This needs to go back into theaters.
Yeah.
I mean, we're coming back out of this COVID thing. Movie theaters need something to show to get at least their crews back up and going. Get people getting back in the theater. Put this back in the movie theater now. I will go see it twice.
So, kind of speaking of that, kind of a little
this is beautiful, and I wish I had seen it in theaters originally.
Yeah. So I posted on our Facebook that if you had the chance to go see one animated movie that you absolutely love to death, and what animated movie would that be? The one response I got, Iron Giant.
Honestly, I would agree with that. Now, I will admit, had I not seen a bunch of the Studio Ghibli movies in theaters a couple years ago with all this Ghibli Fest stuff that Fathom Events does,
right?
Those would have been right there bucking heads with it.
Oh, okay.
This is one of those movies that I would love to see in theaters again, just because of how beautiful it is. Now, another one I might put up there,
right?
Rescuers Down Under.
Oh, yes. Oh, my God.
Those fight scenes need to be, I can tell, despite the fact I never got to see them, need to be experienced on the big screen.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Yeah, that would most definitely be maybe in the future. Maybe.
Well, it's a lot easier for us to get a hold of now than it was when we first started the show and we're talking about it.
That is true.
Because admittedly, when we first started the show, I ordered these both Rescuers movies and did not get them. I got a third copy of The Incredibles 2. But now they're on Disney Plus. So
yeah.
Those might be coming up.
Yeah.
Someday. All right. What is your second like?
My second like would be its story.
Mm-hmm.
The story, the way it's written, the fact that they put it in 1950s, the 1950s,
height of the Cold War.
Maybe
not the height of the Cold War, but where the worries were really getting ingrained.
Yeah, it
was
was
pretty good.
Yeah, it was. Well, technically, it was during the height of the Cold War because the whole war started like in 1940.
Well, it started right after World War II.
Yeah, right after World War II. So yeah, this is the middle of the Cold War. Being my parents were little kids in the 1950s, so they remember this era very well.
Yeah,
talking about it. But,
duck and cover and all that.
Yeah, duck and cover and all that jazz.
There's a part of me that's like, I'm happy they acknowledge duck and cover. I hate duck and cover.
I remember doing it as a kid.
But they love. I love. See, they didn't do that when I was a kid.
Yeah,
except for tornadoes.
Yeah,
that wasn't under the desk. That was out in the hall.
Yeah,
where the tornado can get to your head. Yes, but I love how there's a little bit of a jab at how ridiculous the duck and cover thing is.
Oh yeah,
because when they're showing that video, they show the kid. They show the bomb hit the school in this little old PSA thing. They show a giant crater, but with one little bitty stick thing coming up with the kid hiding under the desk, and somehow the desk saved him.
Yeah,
which that is funny that you actually poked fun at that.
And it's a joke most people won't get.
Yeah, exactly. And then you also point
especially in the 90s.
Oh yeah, most people never get that. And also the point where the bomb they launch the missile, launch the nuke, and they're like, oh, should we get to a shelter? Well, it's not gonna matter.
It's not gonna matter.
It's not gonna matter. You like the
what about ducking cover? It's not gonna matter.
We're gonna get we're gonna.
Mansley, where is that missile currently targeted? The giant. And where is the giant? You just killed every man, woman, and child in this town, including us. You gotta go. Arrest that man. Make sure he stays here like a good soldier.
I love that Mansley answers one up. I love that.
Yes. This is the most annoying character in this whole movie, which is, and for the antagonist, it's a good annoying.
Yeah.
And he's the one who's like, you know what? Nobody likes you. You're going to die with the rest of us because you don't deserve to survive.
Yeah, except we don't. Oh, but just the story of a young boy who, like, obviously because of Wikipedia, because apparently his father died in Korea. Apparently. I didn't know that.
Maybe that's in one of those deleted scenes.
Who knows? But just the idea of this young boy who has the weirdest name on the planet, one of them.
And they even poke fun at it. It's like, man, who names their kid Hogarth? That's a horrible name.
And they come the revelations like,
it's like,
ho ho!
Ho ho, yes.
That was good.
Well, when I first saw that, I didn't think the kid had written that on his BB gun. I thought that was like a Red Ryder knockoff.
Makes sense. That makes sense.
I've watched a lot of Christmas Story, so a Red Ryder BB gun with a crud. I can't say the whole thing. Sundial? No, it's not Sundial. I just remember it ends with this thing that tells time.
Oh.
Anyway, sorry. Back to you.
So, a story of a young boy who apparently doesn't really have a whole lot of friends.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just wanting to be like, wants a pet, wants something. And he winds up stumbling into this giant. This iron giant, or the giant it's called in the film. And it's more of their bond, their friendship forming of the, and the, like, all the characters' interactions, our antagonist, the fact that he comes across as like a sleazy FBI agent.
Oh yes,
and just that.
Well, I figured he was like early CIA.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Or he's connected to Area 51 somehow.
But just, oh my gosh, the height, the paranoia that was so prevalent during that time. It played off beautifully in this film.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's our protagonist's line. If we didn't, he's almost interrogating Hogarth in the diner of where it's like if it'd be like if we didn't make it, if it came from somewhere else, we gotta find it and kill it. And I was like,
this was
so much like the 50s.
This was after Hogarth tricked him into eating a sundae sprinkled with chocolate.
Yes, I love that. It literally took me a microsecond to realize what he was doing. It's like Chocolax. I was like, X-Lax. Oh my gosh!
The whole time, it's like as he's going through the
that was hilarious.
My favorite is where he's out in the woods and has to go off in a bush somewhere.
Yeah.
It's like, you got what you deserved.
Exactly.
And in some way, I feel bad for this guy because this guy, most villains, you at least understand them enough to where you can at least understand their point of view.
Yes.
And you can at least feel sorry for them. This guy does not even get that chance because from the beginning, yes, you understand his point of view.
Yes.
You appreciate what he has to do and how and the thought process that go through his mind, and you still hate him throughout the entire movie because he's going to be the guy that gets in the way, is not going to understand, and just to top it all off, he's the guy who actually gives the order to kill the giants.
Yeah.
This man will never be a liked antagonist outside of we're going to love to hate you.
Oh yeah.
So I'm piggybacking off your number 2 is my number 2.
Okay.
Which is the fact that it's set during the Cold War.
Oh yeah.
Now, admittedly, I only grew up in what would have been the last 5 years of the Cold War.
Yeah.
In the late 80s.
Yeah.
And I was too young to know what was going on.
I vaguely remember because I was born in 82.
Right. My first thought of there being an actual war going on was when someone told me about Desert Storm. Give me an idea as to as how long it took me to get around.
1990. I remember that.
Yeah. So,
totally different war, by the way.
Yeah, I'm aware. So, this is setting it in the 50s.
Yeah.
Is right in line with all the classic sci-fi shows of the Buck Rogers and stuff. In fact, if you look at the movie poster for this movie, it is designed to look like those old 1950s era sci-fi horror B-movie posters.
Oh yeah,
which is brilliant in my opinion because it tells you what you want. Fortunately, I don't think that's what most people wanted in 1999. That is a shame. But that's beside the point. I'll get to that in a minute. This movie, setting it in that classic sci-fi setting and putting it to where it's this kid interacting with it makes it just a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It's the same reason I love how technically The Incredibles is set in the 40s and 50s.
Yeah.
It's got that same type of pop, the 50s pop flair. You've got the Red Menace you're always worried about.
The Red Menace,
You've got the space race starting up.
Sputnik?
I love how they call it the Sputnik. We don't know what it's doing up there. It's just making beeping noises as it circles the Earth because they just wanted to prove they could put it up there in the first place.
Yeah, there's even...
It's not till Sputnik 2 when they put the dog up there that we really should be worrying about.
Poor dog.
Poor little puppy.
Poor little puppy.
Except, playing along with that would have been Cosmo.
Yeah.
Who would later go on to end up in nowhere and in the comics learned how to talk.
Hey, at least
they need to bring that part of Cosmo back in the movie. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, that would be funny.
Anyway, back to this. Set during this Cold War where you got that paranoia of what's that Red Menace going to do? Plus with the optimism of the sci-fi of the space race going on.
Oh yeah,
giving that classic pulpy science fiction of that era teeth. And it's an emotion. Unlike most of those campy science fiction stories of that era, you actually feel for all of these characters.
You did, actually.
It's just, and it's unlike those where those were made on shoestring budgets. You can tell this had a lot of money put into it to make it good, and Brad Bird did an excellent job with it.
It's a lot of heart, actually.
And a lot of heart, but the fact that it is still, at its heart, a 50s sci-fi. Done in a way the 50s sci-fi movies couldn't have been done at the time. Is just beautiful, and I love it.
Yeah. There's once when you speak about Brad Bird, during the production, be like he took it on himself because he's a classically trained animator. The scene where Hogarth is hyped up on coffee,
Let's be honest, espresso,
literally. But he took charge of that scene and drew it himself.
Yeah,
and I was like, oh my, wow, okay. You don't hear that much by the animators or directors of movies. But I thought that was so fascinating when I read that. So yeah. That
was the end of my number. My second like. Yes. What's your third like?
What is my third like? Well, originally it was going to be animated, but you hit that out of the park. So I'm changing mine actually to the Giant himself.
Okay. Ironically, this is going to tail end into my third like.
All right. Okay.
Continue.
Two minds think alike, apparently.
Well, we have similar thoughts.
That is true. So,
probably has something to do with the fact that we've been talking animation almost nonstop for the past year and a half.
That is true. So, the Giant, this weaponized monster that comes to Earth and gets a bump on the head.
Yes.
It doesn't be like has amnesia very common in sci-fi, very common in most. Be like you're like Goku, for example, from Dragon Ball Z.
Yes.
Or Dragon Ball, or whatever series you want to talk about.
Just say Dragon Ball. That's the whole franchise.
Yeah, Dragon Ball, whichever. But
even though technically that aspect didn't get introduced to Dragon Ball Z, but that's beside the point.
Whatever. So, like, we're introduced to the giant. He doesn't know who he is. He befriends Hogar, and just this amazing. Be like he goes from a character who has no idea who he is, and comes to be like where Hogar says be like, you can be like, you don't have to be the person you're. Be like, you can be somebody else. You don't have to be what you basically designed to be. And I love that because he's designed as a weapon.
Yeah.
And the whole point of the idea is like not to be a weapon, not to be a gun. And it's the giant's almost his choice when it comes to like when his defense mechanism, as I stated later, is triggered. And you find it where he's like fighting against that. It's like, no, I don't want to become this. And so he ultimately sacrifices his life, for lack of a word, to save the town, save Hogar, save everybody. And I thoroughly enjoyed that. Thoroughly enjoyed that. And what was it? And the fact that Vin Diesel, who was a very young actor at this time, be like, this was like, I wouldn't say one of his first, because his first one was actually a film he directed himself.
Right.
You go look that up. It's interesting. But he nailed it. Just the fact to be like a character who couldn't really talk, who just sounded like just metal talking. And to the point where he could speak, he could have full conversations, and his last conversation with Hogar was like used to be like, you stay, like
you stay, I go.
Yeah, exactly.
No,
follow. It's I love that. That was it had to be. I'd be like, it had to be about the heart. It's right out here. It's pulling me. It's like, oh, that's so good. It was so well done. And I learned blah, if I could talk. Let me find a quote from Brad Bird real fast.
Well, while you're doing that, I'm gonna pop in some of my thoughts.
Go for it.
So, of course, my number 3, I specifically worded as Vin Diesel breaking my heart again.
There we go.
Now, admittedly, this was the first time he would have done it, but for whatever reason, the first time I watched this, maybe it's just because maybe I wasn't paying that close attention the first time I watched this 20 years ago, but it did not have the effect it had on me now. Plus, I've noticed I've gotten more sentimental as I've gotten older.
Yeah.
So,
Don't we all?
yeah. So, admittedly, this is the second time I've seen Vin Diesel's character not only, quote-unquote, die, but regenerate a little bit by the end of the movie.
Yeah.
A little bit. Not completely, but a little bit.
Have you seen Saving Private Ryan?
Vin Diesel's in that one, too?
Yes, he is.
It's been a while since I've seen Saving Private Ryan. But it's a
good role.
In terms of animated characters, well, let's face it, in terms of characters that under normal circumstances I wouldn't care about.
Yeah.
And Vin Diesel makes me care. He made me care about Groot. He makes me care about the Giant in such a way. Now, admittedly, the Giant I care about because he's very much an innocent.
Yeah.
He's an innocent because he's got amnesia, but he's very much an innocent character. And even though throughout some of the movie you kind of feel like, okay, the Giant's causing trouble again.
Yeah.
All this stuff. The end where he's like you said, he's saying those lines of "You stay, I go, no follow," and then of course his last line of Superman. It's like, this is who I want to be. This is who I'm going to be. It's like, oh, I'm not gonna say that line affected me as much as We Are Groot.
Yeah.
But it affects me.
Yeah.
It's like, it makes me go, surely this is not going to be his death.
Yeah.
And thankfully, It's not his death.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's not like this, unlike most of the times where you have this happy ending out of nowhere, seemingly out of nowhere, that you see in a lot of movies.
Mm-hmm.
This one is at least hinted at the near the beginning. We first meet the character. The fact that he can self-repair.
Yeah.
We don't know, of course, the extents of his self-repair, but apparently it's enough that if he's blown apart by an atomic bomb, he can still completely repair himself. Now, that does bring up a question. That means he would have been the only one who survived had the bomb actually hit.
Pretty much.
Which means, good night. Can you imagine the heartache he would have to go through at that point?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, admittedly, I have no idea how much emotions he has, but at least he has the rudimentary emotions that we would put on a android character, whether it's got emotions or not.
Right.
Programmed, artificial emotions. You know what I mean. But the amount, I hate to say that Vin Diesel this is one of the things he's good at, because he's good at doing, he's a great actor.
Yeah.
But the fact that he can make this character who doesn't say a whole lot.
Right.
But what he says is meaningful and completely relatable.
Yeah.
To where you understand and feel for that character is a testament not just to the writing of it, but to his acting ability.
Yeah.
To make me care about a robot that could kill everybody.
Right.
B, a robot who has not spoken more than maybe 50 words throughout the entire movie.
Yeah. It's like 48.
I didn't count. I'm just estimating because I know it's less than 100, but it's more than 10.
Yeah.
But yet and it's not all him, admittedly. You got motion capture, and not in this movie, you didn't have motion capture, but you have animation, and that goes into the creation of that character also, but the way his voice adds the bit of soul that voice does that you don't get through the eyes. It just shows how good an actor he is.
Yeah,
even when he's not got complete control over what the character is doing.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I would agree with you on that. The last time I actually, because I've watched all the Fast and Furious movies, except
I have not touched one of them.
Okay. So I think it's in the eighth one that came out. And there's one scene in particular, I'm not going to spoil it, but be like, you feel what Toretto is feeling. It's oh my gosh, it's like, wow, he really pulled the stops. Now, if you go to 7, be like, there's a lot more in there.
Right.
But it's like, yeah, he has some. A lot of people will kind of downplay him because, like, oh, he's an action actor. It's like, no, he's not. He's a really in-depth character if you get down to it. And you spoke about the fact of the character repairing itself.
Yes.
So the scene in which Hogarth has put the robot, the giant, into the barn, and he's missing an arm, so we find out where the arm is.
Yeah.
And oh my gosh, I laughed. That is such a funny scene. And to describe to people,
admittedly,
oh gosh, yes.
Admittedly, it is a very tropey scene. You see this kind of thing in lots of stuff.
Oh yeah.
Trying to hide the thing. And you can see this in Big Hero 6 when he's trying to get quote unquote drunk Baymax up the stairs.
Yes.
It's that sort of thing.
Yeah.
But here it's done beautifully.
Oh yeah. The fact that the hand
helps that it's just
like
a hand.
It's a hand that's acting like a dog.
Yeah.
And I loved it. Like, I think it was like the connection part was wagging like a tail. I was like, oh my gosh, it's so good. He's playing with the toilet paper.
Yeah. And
it was so well executed and done. It had all this emotion and just the fact that it's amazing. It's amazing. That entire scene was amazing. The whole movie's amazing.
Well, and the other one where I don't remember what exactly is happening, but he's trying to bless the meal.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my gosh. Yes.
And he's trying to tell
The hand?
I don't remember if it's the hand or I think it's the same thing, but I could be wrong.
You're right.
He's trying to tell the hand what to do, but is still trying to hide the fact from his mom by trying to work all this stuff into a prayer.
Yes. Oh, yes. It's so good.
Especially, go! Leave! Satan?
Oh, so good. So good, so good, so good.
Oh, anyway.
So, the Brad Bird quote I was going to give you guys. This is from a parent. Okay, so the quote is, Brad Bird was in part inspired to make the movie as a memorial to his sister Susan, who died at the hands of her husband by gun violence. His pitch was this: what if a gun had a soul and didn't want to be a gun?
So the anti-Megatron.
Pretty much. Pretty much be like, I still function. What a bet!
That's what you get for just turning into a gun.
Exactly.
For Starscream to shoot and still claim to be the leader of the Decepticons.
Oh,
anyway, this is not... You want to hear our thoughts on Transformers, the movie?
Go
listen to that episode. It's a brilliant one. It's one that takes a long time to get through.
Yeah, I don't remember how long it is, but it's long.
It's our longest. It's our first really long one. I think it's almost as long as the movie. But
yeah, those 2-hour rants were just lovely.
Those were fun. And there was a reason we had to try and get away from them.
Yes.
Anyway, I think we're both kind of in the same boat where we don't really have much in terms of distance.
No.
So I'm going to touch on my first one, which is probably the only thing. It's not my first one is not really a problem with the movie.
Yeah.
It's a problem with the fact that something did not move on from this.
Okay.
The opening logo for Warner Brothers Animation, with its callback to the old Bugs Bunny Looney Tunes.
Yeah.
I wish they were still using that because I watched that beginning. Like, holy crap! Why is this not the logo for Warner Animation Group? Why isn't it?
Oh,
it's like I wish this was what we got to see on all this other stuff. Yeah. This is a cool. It's a nice throwback. It looks nice. It's subtle. It's not in your face, and yet you know exactly what it is when you see it. Why is this not the opening logos for Warner Brothers? For Warner Brothers Animation? Why? Anyway,
didn't do well.
I don't care. It's cool. Anyway, that's not a problem with this movie,
right?
And that kind of tells you how my dislikes are going to go.
I gotcha.
But yeah, that's my first dislike. What's your first dislike?
My first dislike. It's not really a dislike for the movie at all. It is it's how do I say this? It's how some people would interpret this film. Definitely, if you are a Second Amendment person.
I can kind of see that, but at the same time, I don't think it's really saying anything about gun violence. It's just he's a weapon, and half his attacks are not even gun based.
I agree.
Now they do say, "I don't want to be a gun."
Yeah,
but that's because a gun is the most easily recognizable weapon in the modern age.
That is true.
But anyway,
well, I feel like the movie does have kind of a not a non-gun statement, but it has more that guns can be legal. That guns can be.
Yeah.
And obviously, that's more of a very broad statement. But obviously, because I know a lot of people who are be like, there again, Second Amendment, amazing. Yes, we should have the Second Amendment. I'd be like, I would never
need to be able to defend ourselves.
Exactly. I would never be like, we should abolish it in any shape, form, or fashion. Let me be perfectly clear saying that. Because I know a lot of people would watch this movie and dislike it because it has a semi statement like that. And I hate that. I hate that. And so that was one of my little things because I know there again, I know a lot of people like that, and so this was, I guess it was kind of a harder one for me to kind of breach.
Yeah.
We talked about it earlier, and be like, guns are important. Be like the fact that a gun itself cannot kill without someone behind it.
Right.
And this whole debate has been it's so
okay.
huge.
Okay.
So
let me help you.
Okay.
What you're trying to say.
Go for it.
I want to point out that the idea of the giant being a weapon has absolutely nothing to do with the Second Amendment and any of that.
There we go.
What the point of the giant, keep in mind what the giant is.
Yeah.
He is an automated defense system for whoever built him.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, we don't know who built him.
Yeah.
He's some alien creature from beyond the stars. It doesn't really matter who built him. But when it perceived a threat to itself, despite the fact it was just a toy gun that couldn't do anything, it automatically went to defensive mode and tried to protect itself.
Oh yeah,
and protect those it deemed as needing protection.
Yeah.
And when it felt like the person that was most important to it was dead, even though it wasn't, he decided to go ahead and do mutually assured destruction.
Yeah.
I'm using that term for a specific reason.
Yeah.
I think in many ways, while you can claim this might be about the evils of gun violence and all this stuff, it's really more of a allegory for what the atomic race ended up being. We were at the time in a war with Russia.
Yeah.
It was getting to the point, as you can see throughout this entire movie, it was to a point where it did not matter who built the weapon. If it wasn't American, it needed to be destroyed.
Right.
Mansley says that in the movie.
Yeah, he does.
And the fact of the matter is, the Russians felt the same way. If the Russians didn't build it, and it could cause a threat, it needed to be destroyed.
Exactly.
And that's pretty much what the world was at that point.
Yeah,
it was to a point where you had Americans had planes that were patrolling just enough outside the border, the airspace of Russia, that they could not be considered an aggressive movement, that had orders that were just waiting for an order of go, to go to certain spots in Russia to drop atomic bombs.
Yeah.
And the Russians did the same thing with us.
Exactly.
So that if they couldn't win, we couldn't win either, and vice versa.
Yeah, pretty much.
Get an idea of what I'm talking about, you need to go look at the movie Dr. Strangelove. Where at that point, the Russians even came up with what they called a doomsday machine, that if it determined anything was going to hit anywhere in Russian borders, it would actually it would automatically launch everything, destroy everything, and everything would immediately go into atomic winter, because it's designed to cause mutually assured destruction. Now, it wasn't a robot.
Yeah.
Granted, we never had to see what the Doomsday Machine was in Doctor Strangelove.
Yeah.
But in this movie, this Doomsday Machine, despite the fact it was not built by humans, is the giant.
Yeah.
And the giant, because of the love of this one little boy, and the caring of this little boy, realized it did not want to kill. But when the person that meant the most to it, he perceived as death, he no longer cared.
Yeah, exactly.
And went to kill everybody. This movie is more about keeping a check on human aggression by focusing on the ideas of the Cold War and mutually assured destruction and all those concepts. And keep in mind, the robot was wrong. Hogarth was not dead.
Yeah.
But because he thought he was dead, he was willing not just to kill everybody in that town. It didn't matter if they were innocent. It didn't matter if they were guilty. It didn't matter if they were civilian. It didn't matter if they were military. He was going to kill everything.
Mm.
And it did not matter if he got retaliated against.
Yeah.
If Hogarth had actually died in that scene, the Nautilus would have shot that missile.
Mm-hmm.
It would have hit. It would have done nothing. It would have caused,
maximum damage.
Maximum damage, killed everybody in the town, put a giant crater in the earth there. But we know that the robot would have been able to self-repair.
Yes.
Which means that the Nautilus would have failed its mission.
Yeah.
In that instance. And as the robot rebuilt itself, it would then probably go on a rampage, killing any human being it met.
Probably. Most likely.
And if it were not for the fact that there was a relationship between this boy and this robot,
mm-hmm.
that's how the movie would have ended.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's what it is. You can claim it's anti-gun, you can claim it's anti-war, because I'm sure there's people who are going to claim anti-war in this also.
Oh, yeah.
You can claim a lot of stuff. It is about, if it's about anything, it's about being sure before you do something that what you're about to unleash is warranted.
Yeah.
Honestly, that's what I think this is about.
Okay.
Yes, it is still much about maybe you should your first instinct should not be to bite the hand that slapped you.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe there might be extenuating circumstances.
Sure.
And I think in many ways, while I don't really want to talk about the riots and such that have happened a lot recently.
Yeah.
I think a lot of this can apply in that realm also.
Agreed.
But I just want to be clear, this is not anti-Second Amendment.
No.
This is use your weapon wisely. And I think that's the problem here. The robot couldn't use its weapon wisely, and the xenophobia and the fear caused the humans to use their weapons unwisely, and it nearly cost everything in this.
Very true. All right.
This is still your first dislike.
Yes. There was also, I wanted to bring something up that we were actually doing a study on Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
That kind of made me think of this. And this was a quote that our pastor said once,
Mm-hmm.
or the other day. This is from James 1:19. Know this, my beloved brothers. Let everyone be quick to hear, slow to speak, and slow to anger.
Mm-hmm.
For the anger of man does not produce the righteousness of God. Therefore put away all filthiness and wretched wickedness, and receive the meekness, a planted word in which is able to save your soul.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's something this world needs
If
now.
nothing else, slow to speak, quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to anger is something even the non-Christians really need to be considering right now.
This whole world needs to hear that
Mm-hmm.
right now.
Even if you're not a Christian, there's wisdom in that.
Yeah.
And if you are a Christian, you definitely should be doing that.
Oh yeah.
But we've reached the heaviest topic in this review we could reach.
Oh yeah.
I think so.
Definitely.
Let's continue. Did you have anything else on your
I didn't.
second dislike? Okay, so my second dislike is an easy one. My second dislike is I wish this movie was. I disliked the fact that this wasn't as light as it should have been.
Agreed.
This should have been up there. This should have been up for Academy Awards if it wasn't. And I bet it wasn't because you said it came out in August?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it would not have even... It was nowhere near Oscar season
Yeah.
when that came up. And this would have been before the Best Animated Feature segment would have been added to the awards, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
So this movie might be the most underrated movie I think we've reviewed so far.
Okay.
And that's a shame.
Yeah. Great.
Because this movie does not deserve to be as underrated as it is.
Yeah, I agree. Just I feel like
Despite the fact that it's now a cult classic.
yeah, I feel like it's
And I actually hate calling it a cult classic because that makes it sound like there's something people who don't absolutely love it can find wrong with it.
Yeah.
I can't even think of anything
Me either.
to find wrong with this movie.
Yeah.
And just to kind of throw this up because I really have nothing else. My number 3 dislike is I didn't see it sooner.
Yeah, same here.
Like I said, I saw it once back on Cartoon Network, and I really wasn't paying attention when I watched it then. This time I watched it, and I was like, man, is this a solid movie.
Yeah, it is.
I'm tempted to buy it myself just so I have it in my collection.
Yeah.
I haven't done it yet.
Same here.
But I am tempted to do so. So yeah, that's both my second and third dislike.
I got you.
That pretty much it was not received well, and that I didn't watch it either at the time.
Yeah.
What's your third dislike?
I think you said it. I think you said it all. That it didn't receive the love it desperately needed in theaters, and I didn't get to see it in theaters. And kind of like someone who said in that post, be like Iron Giant, because there's probably a lot of people who would love to go watch this movie in theaters. And like you said, the fact to be like, that we are currently in a pandemic, COVID-19.
We're at the tail end of a pandemic. We're in the middle of the worst race relations disaster in the past 15 years.
Yeah, pretty much.
So this is worse than what happened in Franklin? About 7, 8 years ago?
Yeah, Franklin was bad.
Yeah, this is almost worse than that for a lot less that caused it.
Yeah.
But this is a movie I think everyone does need to see.
Yeah, exactly. It's got this, it's got a really amazing message.
And even on a surface level, it's an amazing movie.
Exactly. So yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. We went pretty deep on that one.
We went pretty deep on that. I didn't actually expect to go that deep, but when the weapons and violence debates is one of those things that we were bound to talk about at one point. I think. Oh yeah. I think up until you brought it up, we were kind of hitting around it.
Yeah.
So I actually thank you for bringing it up, even if I had to jump in there and say it's not really a Second Amendment thing. It's really here's what this movie's about.
Yeah.
So yeah, that brings us to the end of this episode. So we need to rate this movie.
Yes.
I'm giving it a 9. I want to give it a 10.
Yeah.
In fact, no, I'm going to rephrase. I'm going to give it a 9.5.
Okay.
And the only reason I'm not rating it a 10, is just because it doesn't feel like I can give it that extra little oomph, to get up there, and I don't know why.
Okay.
To some degree, I know why. The only other 10 I think I've got on the book right now is Totoro.
Okay.
Totoro is just amazing.
Yeah, I'll agree.
For what little, there's a great story there, but that movie, I knew as soon as it done, it was a 10. I can't tell you I knew this was what the rating of this movie was when I finished it.
Yeah.
So, since it's not that clear cut, I don't feel like I can actually give it a full 10. But I am going to give it a 9.5 because it is. If it's not a perfect movie, it's really dang close.
So close.
It's so close. And I understand why when Pixar saw this movie and they realized how bad it did, why they wanted to hire Brad Bird for their next movie, because he pushed the envelope far.
Yeah.
And they said, you could just tell they knew they had to get him in their talent pool.
Mm-hmm.
And so we're going to have to do some more Brad Bird coming up because we've only done one other Brad Bird film. We've got at least 2 more.
Yeah.
That we can do. Hopefully he'll do another animated one soon.
Hopefully.
But yeah.
Some point.
What's your rating on this?
Oh, it's almost a toss up between 9 and 9.5. Like it's oh my gosh. Heck, I'll give it a 9. I'll give it a 9. Be like, there's absolutely nothing wrong with this film.
Mm-hmm.
I love it to death. It's definitely going in my collection of films, which there's a lot of them. But
I wouldn't know anything about that problem.
No, of course not. But the movie, no movie is perfect, but this movie comes really close.
Mm-hmm.
Like, incredibly close. I think the only movie I've ever rated was a 10 was probably Little Mermaid, and I probably was just more...
There was probably a lot of nostalgia.
There was a ton of nostalgia with that one.
Hmm.
And I think if I was to go back and watch it again, I would probably give it a higher. And so I'm...
Well, it is your first viewing.
Yes.
So you knew... Another viewing might leave more appreciation for it.
Absolutely. So, yeah, I'm going to give it a solid 9. It's tremendously worth watching. If you haven't watched it, go watch this film.
Yes.
It'd be like watching with kids. Get a bunch of people come over and watch it. It is worth it. Go rent it. Go buy it on Amazon.
Mm-hmm.
Dig around in a bargain bin, you might find it.
Sad that you'd have to look in a bargain bin, but yeah.
Yeah. No, I'll be like, honest, I saw it once in a bargain bin.
That's such a shame.
Yeah.
I hate to say that because that's an amazing deal.
Yeah.
But
for such an incredible film.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, that brings us to the end of the episode in total, which means it's time to roll for our next movie. Except we got to do another roll before we roll for that next movie, because we've done 20 movies since we last rolled our orders on the dice.
Mm-hmm.
So I believe you rolled on the last one time we did this.
Yes.
So I'm going to roll this time.
Okay.
Currently, right now, just so everyone's aware, before I roll this dice, I had the number 1 slot. You had 2, 3, and 4, and then I had 5 and 6.
Yeah.
So, for those who don't know, I actually came up with a listing of pretty much every combination between 1 and 20 of us each having 3 movies, and assigned them each a spot on this D20. So, assuming we do not get 8, which was our first setting, and we don't get 13, which is our current setting, if I get either one of those, I'll roll again. But we've got plenty to choose from here, so let's go ahead and roll this thing. And we got 12, which puts you at 1, me at 2 and 3, you at 4, me at 5, and you at 6.
Yeah.
So, your first one is actually our blank spot.
Okay.
So, what is the next movie going in the slot?
Ghost in the Shell.
Ah. This is the first Ghost in the Shell movie?
movie.
Alright.
Ever since there is a slew of these movies all over the place. TV series, they actually just released a brand new one on Netflix.
Yeah. Okay, so... Yeah, I'm next. At number 2, we're going to put Fantasia.
Okay.
Trying to mark these in here as we go so I can put it back in order when the time comes.
Right.
Let's see. Next one. After that is Dragon Ball Z: The Dead Zone.
Okay.
At number 4, we've got Toy Story.
That's right.
At number 5, we have Monsters vs. Aliens. And at number 6, Kubo and the Two Strings.
Oh.
So, I get to roll again with the D6 because this was your movie that we just reviewed. So, I'm going to roll this one and we'll see what we get. We rolled a 2, which gives us Fantasia.
Fun.
Have you watched Fantasia before?
When I was a very small child and I got bored with it.
I think you'll have a different appreciation for it now. For those of you who don't know what Fantasia is, I'll give you a quick rundown. It is a collection. It is the third animated Disney production that was ever released.
Yeah.
It is a collection of 8 shorts, essentially, that are set to classic symphony tunes.
Mm-hmm.
The two big ones that most people know from this, most people remember, of course, you've got The Magician's Apprentice, the one Mickey Mouse cartoon that's actually in this. And then you've got Night on Bald Mountain.
Oh, yeah, I remember
which is an interesting one. And that's actually the one it ends on. But there's a couple other little interesting things in here, too. So keep an eye out for that. That's going to be a fun episode, I think, too.
I think so.
All right. So that brings us to the end of this episode. So join us next week for Fantasia.
Thanks.
All right. Anyway. Where's the thing?
Where's the stop button?
And cut.
Yep, cut.
I get to rearrange this so it works better next time.
All right. Thank you guys so much for joining in.
I forgot we were still live.
Yeah, we're still live.
I was just about to start shutting everything down. It's like, well, I'm glad that's over for today. Oh yeah, we're still live.
Yeah, we're still live right now.
Okay.
Yeah, to speak to our Facebook Live audience, thank you so much for tuning in and hearing us geek out. I think we went a little further than we thought we'd go in that episode.
It's a little further than we normally go.
Yeah, but it was such a poignant moment to actually address that in this film. And so yeah, there again, thank you so much for coming and joining us. Next time we'll be doing Fantasia.
Mm-hmm.
If you like what you listen to, you can go check us out on
your favorite podcast catcher.
Yeah.
We are on, of course, as you heard earlier, we are on Apple Podcasts, we're on Stitcher, we're on Google Play. Working on getting us set up to where we can be on Spotify, but we're not there yet.
Yeah.
But pretty much, if you also go to our website, you can get the RSS feed, and you can input us into any of your any podcast app program you're using right now, and it will go ahead and populate that with all our episodes.
Yeah.
You can also email us at thecellcast@gmail.com.
Right.
And then, of course, you've got our Twitch channel, Cellcast Gaming, where right now we're working our way through Final Fantasy VII Remake. Mm-hmm. We do not know what our second game is, but we are getting close, I think.
Yeah.
We may have another 3 episodes before we finish Remake.
Yeah.
And we are talking about doing I don't know if we'd call it a short, but a separate episode that we would put up as in the feed, but it'd be separate from everything else. Mm-hmm. We're going to talk about that once we finish it.
Yeah.
I had a brain fart. You continue.
It's fine. You can also follow us on. We now have YouTube.
Yes.
So you can follow us at. I think it's the Cellcast.
I think it's the Cellcast Podcast because it's the same account, same Google account as our Gmail address.
Yeah.
So it is still the Cellcast Podcast.
Yeah, go check us out there. Obviously, you can find us on Facebook at the Cellcast Podcast. You can also check it. We also have a partner or sister account with.
I call it our sibling show.
Sibling show. The Movie of the Week podcast with my brother Jim. We do that, and also we do share a Facebook page also called
group.
Yeah, group called
the Double Feature Podcast Community.
Thank you. And also now you can follow us on Instagram. You can follow us on Instagram.
You got us on Instagram.
Yes, I got us on Instagram.
That is the thing, people. I have given up nearly every social what do you call it?
Responsibilities?
No. I was trying to think what you actually call these Facebook apps. Social
media?
Social media, yeah. I've given up all social media duties to Jacob because I suck at it. He's better at it. The only thing most of the time I'm posting on there is, here the episode's out, go listen to it.
Yeah.
And I try to do much of our initial links on Saturday morning with those too.
Yeah. But
for the most part, he's the one doing those posts. He knows what's going on there. I still need to give him the Twitter account.
Yep.
I've not done that. We do have a Twitter account. It is @cast_cell. And I'm horrible at remembering to do anything in there. That's why this is all going to Jacob.
Yeah.
Because he's better at this thing than I am. To give you an idea as to how much better he is, one of his posts earlier in the week went up to like 500 people reached.
Wow.
Whereas I usually top out somewhere around 15.
Wow. Okay.
So he's better.
All right. So
And that is why he gets to do it.
all right. So yeah, there again, be like, you want to follow us, all that, all the other stuff you want. Be like, go check us out, share, share with your friends, maybe share with your dog My Life podcast. You never know.
Well, when you get off on your barking, that might get their attention.
Maybe. And plus, I don't think I barked in the last. Be like,
well,
anything.
I was not referring to your Tourette's bark.
Oh, okay.
I was referring to your almost Scooby-Doo stuff. Like you do a pretty good Scooby-Doo. But I'm talking about the stuff that's past Scooby-Doo, but not full dog.
Okay.
You don't. Anyway.
Yeah. Either way. So yeah. There again. Thank you again. And to quote someone, well, let's just say this: be like, love one another.
Yes.
That's what the world needs right now. Just love one another.
To quote the Wild Stallions, be excellent to each other and party on, dudes. I know you hate that movie, but you have to admit that is a great way of thinking about it.
Yeah,
thinking about
it is.
Going forward.
I wouldn't say I hate it. I just severely dislike it.
I think you need to watch it a second time with knowing that the history problems are there so you can look past them.
Yeah, that was hard. That was really
I think
hard.
that's really what your problem with that movie was.
Yeah.
Is there were a lot of intentional historical inaccuracies.
Just a bit.
Just a bit. Just like
Like
the whole
a
movie.
deep mile wide.
I think you actually will like Bogus Journey a little bit better because
I'll
it is less time travel, more spatial travel.
Okay, gotcha. All right, so I will definitely be watching ever since the third movie is now. There's a trailer out.
Yes.
So yeah,
We need to figure out when we're reviewing Bogus Journey.
yeah, at some point. Anyways, so
if you're listening, Jim, that was a hint.
Yeah. Wait. All right, so yeah, thank you again, guys. And so next week we will be doing Fantasia, Walt Disney's third
animated film.
Third animated film.
The cast list will be very small.
Yeah. So
in fact, no cast is involved in this.
Pretty much.
Except for the narrator, who I'll talk about, and I would probably consider the composer, not the composer, the conductor, technically in the cast as well. But I'll have to figure that out.
So a question would be: can you find this? This is on.
This is on Disney Plus.
Okay, good. That makes it easier.
It is on Disney Plus. I don't think you can find it anywhere else right now because Disney owns it. Unless you can go out and find the home video version. Bear in mind, this is Fantasia, not Fantasia 2000.
Sure.
I've not watched Fantasia 2000, so I can't talk about its quality because I don't know its quality. But we're also not doing 2000. And yes, this is the version we're reviewing is the one that's on Disney Plus, which means many of the cultural problems that were present in the original have been changed somewhat.
Yeah.
They for the most part are unnoticeable unless you know what you're looking for.
Yeah.
But yeah. Most of that's in the seasons.
I gotcha.
The one with the dancing hippos.
Oh,
No, not the dancing hippos. The one with the centaurs and the you'll know.
Oh, okay, yeah. I remember that part.
Yeah, there was a black-faced child in one of those shots that they changed to be ironically white. Weird. And he still has the lips. So it's like, you could have done that different.
Yeah, well,
you could have changed the lips and it would have been fine. But anyway, that's beside the point.
Like in the other podcast, we say, I'm not sure.
We'll get there when we get there. Anyway, so thanks, guys, for joining us, and keep an ear out for the cleaned up version of this episode on the podcast feed Saturday morning.
Yep.
I will do my best to have it out by 1. like I did this last one. I will try to get it by 7 if I remember to edit before I go to bed Friday night. But I'm not always that prepared. Anyway, this has been Drew.
This is Jacob.
And we'll, as we always used to say, we will catch you in the next frame. If I use the right mouse to end the video. Yes.
Button. No! Not the button! Not the button! Not the button! No!
Not the